Hi, my name is Elsaphan Njora and I'm this week's guest for Snappy 7. In the absence of reason, chaos resides. And in the presence of chaos, a fire will arise. One to quench the thirst of destruction. And when that fire is done, new life will be born. This is the eventuality of life, and we must ask ourselves, which will we give light of day? Homecoming was called by Jim Chuchu. I auditioned for a role, Jim Chuchu. It was this thing that was happening. There were 8 films that were being made in Africa, and they were being showcased in Toronto International Film Festival. And Homecoming was one of them. Jim Chuchu was one of the writers and directors, creators. And so we did it. That was the first time I worked with Patricia Kihoro. Sonko, very interesting. There was this thing called Monologue Challenge by Eddie. I can't remember his second name, Eddie, famous actor. And I did an impromptu, I was told about it, and I went and I didn't prepare any monologue. Everyone there had prepared for weeks. I just went there I listed myself as just a guy. I want to compete in the open mic sort of thing, and I won. And the writer and director of the film was there, and she just said, I think you should come for a film. I think you'll be perfect. And that's how I got the role. So the film is loosely based on purgatory. It's and I read somewhere, the person put it very well. It asks more questions than gives answers, and that is the beauty of the movie, about life after death. And so when you die, the characters died and found themselves in this cottage in the middle of nowhere, and they're there because they're dead. Yeah, so I don't want to give too much. Too much. Yeah, it has done so well in the festival circuit. It won Toronto Best. Was it Discovery? The Discovery category. It won, I think, Palm Springs, and now it has won. Like, it's winning different awards. In different countries. I like that you've researched. Like, you guys. This is the best interview I've ever been in. Okay, so 51. I have a vision for Nairobi, a vision for Kenya, and a vision for Africa. Yeah, and for the longest time, I felt despair because I didn't know exactly what to do. I'm not a politician. I don't have a lot of money yet. I don't have the influence that I'd need to say this sewer needs to be fixed. And so I was like, okay, so what can be my contribution? And over the years, after racking my brain, 2013 we celebrated 50 years, but I realized that our problems are not different and our solutions are not different either. It's just that the generation does not have the goodwill and the willpower to do it. So my solution was, I need to raise a new generation. A generation that has a different set of rules, a different set of beliefs. People who will only be satisfied with, I have done it, not that it can be done. What 51 entails is that I have plays that are put together using my poetry. Like, I'll take 10 of my poems, and then I'll string them along with transitions, whether it's dance, music, stand-up comedy, improvisation, crowd interaction. First of all, I change on stage. So we are coming up with a new genre of play, plays that's called Zaphan, where you just take several pieces of poetry that are not necessarily related to each other. You put transitions in them, and you let the audience decide why this poem came before this one, or why this came after this one. Katikati is a major highlight. I feel like everyone there was a method actor. Because if you think about it, we were all taken to Savoist, all of us. And the movie is based on one location. So we were in that location. It's based in the wilderness, and we were in the wilderness. So it was method acting. I felt like it was, yeah.
it wasn't scary to be there filming and some.
It was because the lights go off at 9. It was generator. And then all you're left with sounds of hippos, the river, crickets, some other insects that you have never heard of, never seen, will never see because they come at night and there are no lights. It was just, but it was the best. The food was amazing. For the first time in my life, I was 75 kilograms. It's how people are entitled. They're entitled. They see you and to them they belong. You belong to them, and you not saying hi is being rude, as opposed to you just having another day in this universe. I feel like that's irritating. Not necessarily for me because I'm not usually outside a lot, and even luckily the ones who have come to, I've had very few instances where the person was disrespectful. But I've seen certain people go through certain things, and I'm like, but if someone wants to say hi to you, let them. They can say hi. If they don't want, then shouldn't force. Yeah. I'd be like, be foolish. Be foolish, because that's the beginning of being brave. Literally. Hey, depth. What? Be foolish, because that's the beginning of being brave. Yeah, I feel like I was too close. The world was right in front of me, and I was too concerned about too many things. I'd say leave St. Andrews. I was in St. Andrews Church. Leave St. Andrews. A long time ago, the fireplace was where we would give our morals. Of course, there was the council of elders or whatever structure what their community had. But the fireplace was something very common. That's where we would tell stories. The fireplace has changed, and the storytellers have changed. The fireplace now is a TV. Yeah, like literally. Do you get what you see? Yeah, you see? Thank you very much. And the storytellers have, for the longest time, have been the broadcasters. Now, unfortunately, the broadcasters haven't told our stories. Actually, they haven't told their stories because they are Kenyan as well. And so that has created a sort of resentment towards local content. Yeah. In fact, local content sounds like a lower version of content. There's content, and then there is local content. And as an actor, I have felt that effect. To move forward, I feel like we all need to search ourselves as Kenyans and ask ourselves, why do we hate ourselves so much? You know, because these are our stories. So when we get to a point where we appreciate who we are as a people, then we can start to see that we are actually making strides. But if you think about it, there was a time as a poet I couldn't have a full show in KNT. But I had one. Like, when would you... KNT is expensive to to hire out. I had 2 shows in KNT. You get, yeah? So we are making strides. It's just that we have to now go back and ask ourselves, what is this thing that makes us think that we are not making strides? Hi, my name is Elsaphan Njora. Keep watching Nairobi News. Nairobi News. Yeah. The news, the sun, shadows, like Nairobi News, all of them, all angles. Yeah. Peace. Vote for Elsaphan Njora, president of Best Supporting Actor, AMBC.